Hi and welcome to this reading. Today's reading, I'm pulling in a very specific energy. It's aligning with some things that are happening publicly here in Australia, but I think what it actually is a mirroring of what's actually happening in the collective. So this is a collective reading, and I want to use the word clemency. I want to use the word mercy, some sort of justice that's actually coming forth in the collective for something that has happened to you during the recent Pluto in Capricorn transit. Now that transit was a 16-year transit. It started in 2008 and ended this year, 2024. We've now gone into Pluto in Aquarius, which is a 20-year transit, which will last until 2044. Pluto is judgment. The judgment card in the tarot. It's a tearing down. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I pick up on energy prior to a reading. I will then come and use my tarot and oracle decks to further clarify the message. If you've stumbled across this reading, it's most likely because there is a message in it for you. It may just be one thing I say. All of my readings are timeless. It may or may not resonate with you. If it does, I'm glad we connected. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If the reading resonates with you, please give it a like. All of the decks that I use on my channel are my own designs because I am also an illustrator. So I'm going to start with the messages that I was getting, and I'm going to give you the context in which they came through. So I was hearing, I've been through the desert like a horse with no name. I will list all the songs that I channel in the description box because there might be more messages in them. When you're looking at songs, you want to look at the name of the song, the name of the artist, the album cover. The images in the album cover might have messages for you, the lyrics of the song. And as I said, I will list a link if there's a music video to the music video because there might be more references in that music video. The other thing that it might reference is a movie where that song is used, and the themes within that movie or TV series or whatever it is might have relevance to something that's going on in your life at the moment. So as I said, I got the song Been Through the Desert Like a Horse with No Name. A suggestion that you have been out in the cold somewhere, lost, stuck in no man's land, I want to say. I got Don't Pay the Ferryman. Now that song has come through many times in previous readings. That song is about somebody going on a journey, and the original meaning of it is somebody wanting to get to heaven. And so they pay the ferryman. I think it's a Greek story, actually, ancient Greek story. They pay the ferryman to get from one side of the river to the other. So from life to the afterlife. But what happens is you're not meant to pay the ferryman until you actually reach your destination, because in that song, and I think it's Krista Berg, the ferryman is the devil. I got the Boyzone song. Now that's a boy band, I think from the 90s. Picture of You. I had a picture of you in my mind. And that song is about almost an illusion. It's got real trickster energy in that energy that's coming through around that song. Something that looked great, but ended up being the devil. Then I got the main title for Nemo. So I had a couple of songs that I was channeling, but then I put my songs on random shuffle, and I've got over 5,000 songs on my playlist. And I'll just set the intention, ask my guides to give me more information about this energy that I'm picking up on, and then I put my songs on random shuffle. It's a great way. If you are looking at connecting with your guides, it's a great way to connect and get confirmation of things that you are picking up on intuitively. I got the main title of the Nemo movie. Now, the cover of the album is what stuck out to me, and it's Nemo's dad and Dory, and then behind them is this massive big, it's Bruce the shark, this massive big shark, but with a big smile. I'll see if I can find it actually, because you'll get a real sense of the energy that we're picking up on. You can see that. Some sort of smiling assassin that's been in your vicinity I got Sway by Big Runga. Now that song was used in the movie American Pie and also in the Reunion movie. And it was a song about, I want to use the word completion, but I don't want to use the word completion. This is not necessarily a love reading, but there's a mark on my table. I was just going to use the word happy ending, but I don't want to use that word either. Mercy, clemency. It's where things come back into alignment at the end of the movie. I got Only One by Kanye. Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi. Stay Alive, Jungkook. Exile, Taylor Swift and Bon Iver. And then AC/DC, Thunderstruck. Big energy that was coming through. And it was in relation to a story that's on the news at the moment, specifically in Australia. Back in 2006, there were 9 individuals ranging from 19 to 28. The Australian Federal Police knew about the fact that they were flying to Bali. 2 out of the 9, they're called the Bali 9. 2 out of the 9 were the masterminds, and the other 7 were being used as drug mules. Now, the Australian Federal Police knew before they got on the flight to Bali, and they were picked up in Bali with heroin strapped to their bodies and put in jail for 20 years. This week, 5 of them, because one had already passed away in prison, another one was released in 2018 because she provided evidence to help pin down this big drug syndicate. And the 2 masterminds received the death penalty actually in Bali, I think maybe back in 2015. But all of this is happening within this Pluto and Capricorn transit. Capricorn is where you build. Think of a drug mule. Drugs are huge, profitable business. Somebody building their wealth on the sacrifice of 7, these 2 that have now been executed, building their wealth, using the other 7 as sacrificial lambs. So they have just the remaining 5, because one of them died of cancer in prison, but the remaining 5, after 20 years in prison, have now been released back into Australia. They've been given clemency and they're allowed to start their lives. And it aligns perfectly with this Pluto and Aquarius transit, which began at the end of November this year, 2024. So there's a real feeling here, and it's in the collective energy of something that's happened over the last, it may not be 20 years, it may be 15 years, it may be 10 years, where you were used as bait by somebody for financial gain. But like I said to you in the beginning, the Australian Federal Police knew before these young kids, and the youngest I think was 18, they knew that these drug traffickers were about to use these people to traffic these drugs to Bali. Australian Federal Police had expressed to the families, because the families knew that they would not let them board the plane in Australia to Bali. And if they were caught in the process, they would be given clemency, because the Australian Federal Police was using them to catch the bigger prey, the instigators of this drug trafficking. Now, you could say these young kids, they had a choice to get on the plane, but they actually didn't, because the masterminds of this drug trafficking operation had told them that if they didn't do it, their families would be in danger. So these young kids were at the mercy of the drug trafficking masterminds and the mercy of the Australian Federal Police. Finally come home. Now, I'm not condoning drug trafficking, but there is lots of things at play here, and it may be mirroring some sort of circumstance that's actually happening or happened in your life. That word clemency was coming through. I also got black sheep. When I think of a sheep, I think of a sacrificial lamb. So they were sacrificed by masterminds, but they were also sacrificed in order to catch the bigger fish by law enforcement, I want to say. Somebody that has a greater power over you sacrificed you in order to catch a bigger fish. As I was doing the pre-shuffle, I put on Gregorian chants. It clears the energy. The song that came through on the random shuffle, Gregorian chants is the monks of the Abbey of Notre Dame. And it's all in Latin, so I then have to go and search up. But the song that came through, obviously because I don't speak Latin, the song that came through, and my pronunciation is not great, Introit Benedicta Sit. The meaning of it is, blessed be the Holy Trinity and undivided unity. We shall ever give him thanks, for he has dealt with us according to his mercy. So if you think of those kids, well, they were kids when they went in. The youngest is now 38. They did the crime, they paid the time. They were meant to be in prison, life in prison in Bali. He has dealt with us according to his mercy. Something here about perhaps some sort of wrongdoing that you were caught up in, which is now, you did the crime, you did the time. It's time to be released. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have done a specific crime. It could be simply that something that you had been involved in, something that you had been aligned with, there is a form of guilt there for something that's played out. The final message that I was getting was of, and I don't know why my guides do this, but they do. I get biblical messages coming through, and I've just got to run with the messages, because these readings aren't for me. They're actually for whoever is guided to watch them. So I'm not going to ram religion down your throat, but I'm going to give you the message that I was getting, and it is in relation to the card, the Hangman, which is an epiphany. The Hangman is number 12 in the tarot. It's Neptune. It's going down to the depths to actually gain an understanding of what's actually happened in a scenario. It's how you connect, how you internally connect with your intuition and with a higher power. The idea being that brings you into alignment. Now, that particular card in the tarot, I've been looking at the connection between the tarot and, because I've been getting so many biblical messages, the tarot and stories within the Bible. Now, that particular card, the Hangman, aligns with Peter's crucifixion. Luke 9:23-24. Peter was one of Jesus' closest disciples. His faith journey involves massive internal insight, which is why we have this Hangman. It's the epiphany. He was eventually martyred, the sacrificial lamb, and he decided to hang himself upside down. So Jesus was hung on the cross, right way up. Peter decided to hang himself upside down because didn't see himself equal to Jesus. His story is about sacrifice, release, surrender, and obviously new insights. But the passage in the Bible that relates to this, and it is perfect because it aligns with this. Then he said to them all, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it. Whoever loses their life for me will save it. What I want to say here is that whatever's happened in your life, where you have been the sacrificial lamb, you have done so as part of a bigger play on behalf of the divine to catch a bigger fish. And whilst you have metaphorically been in the desert like a horse with no name, paid the ferryman but not got to your destination, now is the time where you are getting clemency, where you are getting, I want to say, divine reward from the man upstairs as a thank you. Living on a prayer, stay alive, exile, thunderstruck. There's something happening out of your control. Maybe you thought you'd be stuck wherever you are. I want to say in purgatory. Maybe you thought you were stuck in purgatory forever. Some sort of divine retribution coming in. Let's get an angel oracle for you. 36. Menadel protects your employment and preserves your livelihood. So perhaps this has happened at work. Perhaps, yeah, that's the Ten of Pentacles, which is Mercury in Virgo. Major arcana for Virgo is the Hermit. Communication is Mercury. Menadel, number 9. 9s are completion. protects your employment and preserves your livelihood. These guys were given clemency. A bigger fish in the sea used them for financial gain. And to catch that fish, God had to put them in jail. And they probably didn't understand it at the time. They probably thought that they were going to be in jail for the rest of their lives, but they've been given clemency and an opportunity for a new beginning. Protects your employment and preserves your livelihood. Perhaps something has happened at work. Let's get a guidance card. Just got that being through the, yeah, look at that. Karmic cycle. You're coming out on the end of a karmic cycle. It's ending. This Pluto and Capricorn transit for you is ending. Be confident. You're getting a new beginning. Perhaps you're a little, I want to say gun shy. Perhaps you're a little tentative. Perhaps you're a little gun shy. Now that song, Big Runga Sway, that's about somebody wanting to say something to somebody that they love, but the words get caught up. And on the bottom, intuition. What I want to say here is you can't live in the past. You can't stay, even if you're physically being moved out of this karmic cycle with whoever these energies are. Two different energies, because we had the masterminds, the drug trafficking masterminds, and then we had some sort of, well, it was a government organization. Be confident. Maybe there's an issue around trust. But you can't live in the past. What's the point of being shown mercy? Bless the Holy Trinity and undivided unity. The Holy Trinity is 3 sevens. 777, 21. We've got the Capricorn solstice coming up. What's the date today? The 19th of December. Capricorn solstice, which is a 777 Stargate portal, is on the 21st of December. So with 2024. My readings are timeless whenever you stumble across this reading. But that solstice is every year. And that 777 portal is every year. It's the winter solstice. Interesting. So the confidence here, I think, is about trusting. Trusting that this new beginning is being afforded to you because of the part that you played in helping to catch the bigger fish. Okay, let's get some cards. What's happening in the energy around you? Queen of Swords. That is Uranus in Aquarius, which is perfect for the Pluto and Aquarius transit. That's Uranus is the card of earthquakes, or the planet of earthquakes. That's the Queen of Swords. Truth. Potentially some truths coming out about what's happened here. Let's have a look at you. What's happening with you? The Knight of Cups. That's the moon in Scorpio. If it does involve some sort of relationship, that's Sway Sung by Big Runga. The opportunity to come forward. But the Knight of Cups, which is the moon in Scorpio, things that are hidden. The moon is emotions, things that are hidden, things that you couldn't, perhaps you couldn't speak about what was actually going on. Perhaps there's illegal in and around protection your employment and preserves your livelihood. Perhaps you couldn't talk about what was actually happening. But Scorpio is death and rebirth. Just keep hearing that word clemency. What's happening in your soul? That's the Five of Wands, which is jealousy, envy. It's a battle. The Five of Wands is Saturn in Leo. I almost want to say here, because fives are change, and we've got be confident and karmic cycle. This is the battle that you've been in within this karmic cycle. And I want to say I wanted to say you're putting your sword down, but it's a wand. Swords are mental. It's the physical battle that you've been in, but now it's the mental battle that you've been in. Trusting that this freedom is yours. Perhaps trusting that you deserve this freedom. It's almost like, you know, when the pandemic first started And we went from, I know within our family, you know, we were up at 4 o'clock every morning. My kids had swim training, and then they were at school all day, and then training in the afternoon. And we kind of went from having these lives that were just so fast paced. And then when everything closed, it was almost like we didn't know what to do with ourselves. And that's perhaps when you get in your head, because things are so different. If you imagine those people in prison for 20 years, it's almost got a bit of a Stockholm syndrome, which is going back to something that you know because you are comfortable in it. And that's why a lot of people actually reoffend when they get out of jail, because they don't know how to survive. And so they go back to what's familiar. It's a battle in your mind. Be confident. What's that? Yeah, look at that on the bottom. 9 of Wands, which is the wounded warrior. What's the message from the man upstairs in regards to this situation? Wow, you've got the 6 of Wands. Victory after a long battle. It's yours. You're allowed to claim this victory. That's what that's saying. That's Jupiter in Leo. Jupiter is at play on the 21st because Jupiter is currently in Gemini, which is the 8 of Swords, which is being trapped. Jupiter is at play on the 21st for the Capricorn solstice. It's in alignment in the sky. Now, Jupiter is luck, victory after a long battle. But the other thing I learned the other day is, and I haven't got a picture of it, but if you lay the world map out flat, each country sits within a band of a specific astrological sign. Now, for Australia, and it goes from the middle of Australia up, sort of out to New Zealand, and then up. So right through the Philippines, part of China, Japan, Korea, and up into Russia, we actually sit in the band of Leo. When you look at a Pluto and Aquarius transit, if you look at the astrological wheel, Aquarius is the rebel. We're going into 20 years of for the people. And if you look at the things that are playing out within those countries in that particular band, because on the astrological wheel, Leo is the opposite to Aquarius. So you will find that there will be the people coming up against Leo, which is the people that are in power. So it might be somebody in your workplace. It might be somebody who's rules the roost in your family. It might be somebody within the government. But for the next 20 years in this band, because Aquarius, the people are coming up against, rebelling against the leaders, which is Leo. This is why all this stuff is playing out. And specifically in that big band, sort of halfway from the middle section of Australia to the right, and then all the way up. Any of those countries that kind of fall in that band, astrologically, they sit in the sign of Leo. So huge things going to be happening. Huge, I want to say almost democratic changes. And it's interesting actually too, because Australia, even though the indigenous people had been here for thousands and thousands, 60,000 years, Australia was colonized in the Pluto and Aquarius transit back 250 years ago, because it's a transit that is 250 years apart. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was 1777 to 1798. So we saw the French Revolution, the American Revolution, but all of these countries in and around colonized. So there will be big things, and not necessarily at the moment in Australia, but there will be big things playing out between the people and the powers that be within any country who had major changes like colonization in that period, but also within, as I said, those countries that fall in that Leo band. Interesting. 6 of Wands. And there might be something at the moment within some sort of government organization where you have been dealt a heavy blow, been used as a sacrificial lamb. What's the outcome for this situation? We've got the 2 of Swords. That is the moon in Libra. It's a crossroads. I want to say it's hidden. And perhaps why we've got the be confident there, and this kind of battle in your mind that's coming out as a 5 of Swords, which is Venus in Aquarius, but feeling like you're still stuck in the energy of the battle that you've been in. It's a crossroads. And on the bottom, the 3 of Wands. What are you going to do? The 3 of Wands is the Sun in Aries. So it's movement. Where are you going to? The 2 of Wands is planning once you're set free. On the bottom, but where are you going to? That's a bird on there. Where are you flying to? And are you flying with the weight and baggage of this karmic cycle that you've been in? Because if you're flying with that weight and baggage, you're not going to get very far. Okay, let's get some cards for, what do I want? I'm going to use this deck. Let's have a look here. The Queen of Swords, which is the energy around you at the moment. So Uranus is the card of earthquakes. Now, the other day I had a dream, and it was, and I've got so much information coming through at the moment, and I was trying to kind of piece it together in one big reading, but I think what's going to happen now is I'm just going to do small readings with the information, because it's all interlinking. And if you watch my readings, you will see this string that kind of lines everything together, weaves everything together. We've got the World. That's completion on the bottom. That's why I was meant to pick up this deck. 21, completion. That Capricorn solstice is the 21st of December. And it's mirroring 2-1-1-2. I drew that as a bonsai tree because obviously bonsai trees take a long time to grow. Something that you've been in over a long period of time, and that wants to split on the moon. Hidden emotions. I imagine with this Bali 9, now that they're back in Australia, now that they're out of that prison in Bali, because I know within that trial that was going on, there has been many things that have come out about bribery within the prison. And perhaps now that they're home, they can actually tell their story, because they've been given the clemency. They've been, I want to say they've been removed from the danger, and now they can actually tell their story. The moon, the things that were hidden. So back to this dream. I had this dream of a man. This was the day before the Vanuatu earthquake, actually. I had this dream of this man on a lawnmower, like a ride-on lawnmower, a red one. A red, I don't know why it was red. A red ride-on lawnmower, and he was mowing his grass, and then the earth just split in front of him, and he literally just went straight in. I don't know the significance of that. I will pull a reading on it. Queen of Swords is the card of earthquakes. When you think about somebody on a lawnmower, cutting grass, and if you think about that term, cutting somebody's grass, meaning dipping into, well, from a, making a pass, for example, making a pass at somebody else's girlfriend, cutting somebody's grass. Those 2 masterminds in the Bali 9 took 20 years of life from those young kids, and they lost their lives for it. The man on the lawnmower. The Queen of Swords. Let's get some more. The 8 of Wands, which is communication. So information coming out, and the Ace of Cups. Information coming out. I want to say information coming to light. Ace of Cups is spiritual alignment. Ace of Cups is also a gift from God. A gift from God of a new beginning, but a spiritual new beginning. And I want to say here that I've kind of got a feeling, and nothing's come out yet, but I've got a feeling that many of these particular individuals, whilst they've been in prison for 20 years, have gone through, I would imagine, some sort of spiritual awakening. A lot of people in prison actually find faith, and perhaps they then use that as a tool to help guide other young kids who were potentially in the situation they were in 20 years ago, when they found themselves in and around. There might be something here about your divine assignment now is to guide other people away or give them insight into how not to fall into whatever trap this has been that you've fallen into. The Knight of Cups, death and rebirth, the Moon, the things that you missed, the Moon. Yeah, look at that, the Knight of Cups on the Knight of Cups, the Moon in Scorpio. That's what it is. This is, maybe it's something that you're thinking about at the moment, because this is what's happening in the 3D. Now that potentially you're at the point where you are being extracted from, you're being given clemency, you're being shown mercy, because we had the epiphany at the beginning. The Moon in Scorpio, Scorpio's death and rebirth. There's an opportunity here for you to do some good. That card wants to bend. Oh, look at that. The Moon in Scorpio, the Moon in Scorpio, and the Moon. If this is in relation to, if you're feeling like this is in relation to love, an opportunity to express your emotions. But I watched on the news the other night, it was a father who was basically saying that he thought it was unfair that these guys had been given clemency because his daughter had bought drugs at a nightclub a couple of years ago. He's an advocate, a bit of a vigilante. And he was saying that they needed to stay in prison because of the lives that are affected by the choices that they made. But I want to say here, and picking up on that Neptune hangman energy, that epiphany that you get, that maybe the power that you have now is in, as I said, educating. Because what's the point of them staying in prison? Aren't they better off helping to educate other young kids who fall into some sort of cycle, unknowingly fall into some sort of trap? Because otherwise this karmic loop just goes round and round and round. There's something here about education for you, helping other people see the red flags. And I did put something up the other day on Instagram. If you see the world through rose-colored glasses, red flags will always be seen as just flags. Now, that's not my quote. I'd read it somewhere. But it's so true. Something that you were potentially lured into, trapped into, because you trusted somebody around you. You let your guard down. You saw the world through rose-colored glasses. You let your guard down, which means you missed the red flags. This is about educating people about the red flags here. The hidden, the moon, the moon, the moon. Hidden. The moon in Scorpio, the sting. You don't see the Scorpio sting coming if you're wearing rose-colored glasses. The Five of Wands. Three of Cups. That's Mercury in Cancer and the Strength card. We got under there. Still giving me that falling back into toxic patterns. If you think of the Three of Cups, I think of three people drinking. Toxic behaviors. Five of Wands. And if you think about, you know, people that fall into this trap of being a drug mule, they're normally people from, well, the people that they use as mules, normally people from low socioeconomic backgrounds. So they're looking for money, they're looking for easy cash, and they're sold the dream. And then they find themselves in some sort of battle that they can't get out of, a karmic cycle that they can't get out of. They're essentially pawns in a karmic cycle, used by both sides, I want to say. But this education here, how can you, and this is what's happening in your soul, how can you educate people so they don't go into these situations wearing rose-colored glasses? The Six of Wands. A message from the man upstairs. The Seven of Swords. It's deceptive. And the Ten of Pentacles. That's It's almost the reverse of what came out before. But the message from the man upstairs is victory after a long battle. Your biggest victory will be in helping people understand the deceptive ways in whatever situation that has been for you, the deceptive ways that people get trapped in these karmic cycles. 10 of Pentacles. Chasing whatever dream. That's the card of the happily ever after. The wife, the kids, the car, the house, all the money in the bank. Chasing the dream. 2 of Swords, the Moon in Libra, but it's hidden. There's a hidden price. Let's have a look. 2 of Swords, the potential possible outcome. The 6 of Swords, that is Mercury in Aquarius. Moving on to calmer waters. The 9 of Pentacles, which is the card of freedom. It's also Mother Mary. And the 4 of Cups, freedom after disappointment. That's the Moon in Cancer. That card is about something being offered to you and you going, actually, no, that's not for me. That's the potential possible outcome if you learn the lesson of this particular karmic cycle that you've been in. If you don't learn it, you get booted back. You know, these guys that have come back, potentially they will reoffend. And the instance of reoffending is huge unless you've learned the karmic lesson. And the Magician on the bottom. What's that one open up to? The 7 of Pentacles. That's my Jacob and Rachel card. The 7 of Pentacles is divine timing. So whatever's happening is meant to happen right now. That number 7 again. It's got the 7 here as well. But Jacob was swindled by Rachel's father. He asked for her hand in marriage and was promised it, but he had to work for 7 years. On the day of the wedding, the bride was veiled and her father married him to Rachel's sister. So he had to work for another 7 years in order to marry Rachel. There's a deception here. An illusion, the Magician. Okay, let's get... what do I want to get? I'm going to get some more guidance cards for you. It's popped out and gone back in. Follow your soul's calling. What are you being called to do? I'm putting that on top of this. You've got valuable insight into a huge karmic lesson. And yes, you've been part of somebody else's karmic lesson. But I want to say here, there's more for you to gain. There's almost a redemption. Fated. It was all meant to happen. All meant to play out like this. Follow your gut. What are you being called to do? I just heard the word advocate. A love offer. What are you being called to do? Let's have a look. Any other angel walking with you? Number 30, Omael, heals depression and impatience. It's the Ace of Wands. It's a new beginning. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. A new beginning for you. A Wisdom and Philosophy, 62, which is the 5 of Swords, which is what was coming out before. That's Venus in Aquarius. That's actually a placement at the moment. Venus in Aquarius, which is the 5 of Swords. The original drawing of that card in the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot is a guy who's basically, he's in a battle with 5 other people and they all put their swords down and walk away, and he's left carrying all the swords. You've got to walk away from something here in order to have this new beginning, the Ace of Wands. But part of it is, with that Epiphany card, getting that clear understanding of the reason why all of this has happened. It's actually part of a bigger plan. Let's have a look at a Moon Oracle. Yeah, been through the desert like a horse with no name. What's the point of being in the desert? New Moon in Capricorn, all that hassle is finally cashing in. So as I said, 16 years in Capricorn, this transit. And the opportunity now to build something new. It's almost got whistleblower energy. South Node in Virgo is on the bottom. This is my nodes of destiny. Oh, I want to come out. South Node in Virgo. South Node in Virgo is all work and no play thanks to Mercury's Labor vibes. It's like thinking earning is safer than receiving, but you can't accept gifts, and that trust is a rare gem. So your South Node, which is what you are releasing, it's where we cozy up spiritually, but to sprout we must bid farewell to the old ways. So we did have workplace here. Staying with what you know, even though you've been sacrificed. South Node in Virgo is all work and no play, thanks to Mercury's Labor vibes. It's like thinking earning is safer than receiving. That's that Stockholm syndrome. Believing you can't accept gifts and that trust is a rare gem. Be confident. Trust. That was what I was talking about before. Trusting that you've now fulfilled the part of the karmic cycle that kept you trapped, and trusting that you are worthy and deserving of a new beginning. North Node in Sagittarius, that's the Archer. Get set for a cosmic escapade if your North Node vibes with Sagittarius. Adventure calls as you dive into a world of knowledge and wanderlust. We've got the Three of Wands here. There's a beautiful new beginning waiting for you. With Jupiter as your guide, and I did say Jupiter is at play on the 21st of December. You're on a thrilling journey, seeking truth, staying optimistic, and catching life's surprises with open arms. Maybe you're not meant to know with the Ace of Swords, the Moon of Swords, the Two of Swords here. That's the Moon in Libra. Maybe you're not meant to know. Maybe you're just meant to open up to whatever is coming for you. I'm sure that the Bali Nine thought that they were going to be in prison forever. I don't know when they were told that they were going to be given clemency. And there must have been a lot of things at play in terms of why that happened. As I said, there was bribery, there was corruption going on. One of the Bali Nine actually got let out early because she provided evidence, which actually, I would imagine, played a hand. As I said, we had that whistleblower energy, played a hand in bringing to light some sort of devil energy. Only one, living on a prayer, stay alive, exile, and thunderstruck. Thunderstruck's from the Iron Man movie, isn't it? Is it? I'm pretty sure it is. I know AC/DC is an Australian band, but that's my husband's cup of tea, not mine. Okay, actually that's another song that's been playing, Hell's Bells. Stand By Me on the bottom, Benny King. Let's have a look. Any other songs that can give us any more information as to what's going on here? Feeling good. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Honestly, when cards come out, a new day, a new dawn, a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Just got that Cheryl Cole song, Soak Up the Sun. Soak Up the Sun. Okay, I'm going to get you, this is my love messages deck. If it's a love reading for you, if those themes are coming through, then take these messages. If not, it's messages from your higher self. When I think about my future, you are right beside me. That's thinking about a new beginning. Illumination. Dreams. Boundaries. When you're trapped, when you've got boundaries, when you're in prison, what's taken away from you is actually your ability to dream about a future. We need more balance on the bottom. Just take those as they resonate. Okay, I'm going to get... in here is Scrabble tiles. Could be your first, middle, last initial, or that of somebody around you, perhaps somebody that you're in this karmic cycle with, or anything else that pertains to whatever is happening in your life. I'm going to give it a shake. It does Actually, I'm just hearing the birds. This morning when I got up, there were a bunch of magpies all attacking one little peewee. So I don't know what a peewee is called, if that's just like it's essentially a smaller magpie. And they were out in my garden attacking. You may have felt attacked, but they're crows. What I was hearing just then are crows, which is intuition, which was what was on the bottom before, intuition. So this makes a little bit of noise when I shake it. If you have hearing sensitivity, please turn your volume down. I'm going to shake it in 3, 2, 1. Seriously? Oh, that was a H. That was caught in the lid. Something caught in the lid. A H caught in the lid. Okay, I'm just going with it. We've got a H and a 4, an S and a 1, an N and a 1, and an A and a 1. I'm going to get some more. K and a 5, an M and a 3, a W and a 4, a B and a 3, an A and a 1, a G and a 2. So we had an N and a 1, an S and a 1, an X and an 8, a Z and a 10, an R and a 1, a J and an 8, a I and a 1, a T and a 1, a C, terms and conditions. Maybe it was something that you were pulled into in terms of a contract. You went in with rose-colored glasses and didn't read the fine print. An L and a 1, a Y and a 4, a V and a 4, an O and a 1, and an E and a 1, and a Q, and a 10. Good love here. I just heard jailbait. Jail. Bait. Government. I've only got it's only got the 26 letters of the alphabet in there, so I can't spell words that have got multiple vowels. I've got the Phil Wickham song in my head, Mercy. He cried mercy. That's actually a song about Adam and Eve. He cried mercy. And it's interesting actually because that card that came through in the beginning, which was the Hangman, which is the Epiphany, on the 6th of January is a date in the Catholic Church. It's called Epiphany Day, which is the Hangman, which is enlightenment. And we have the 12 days of Christmas. So over Christmas, they are opening, and it started back in 1260. Every 50 years, which is a Jubilee, and the Jubilee falls next year, which is 2025. every 50 years, although they've made it every 25 years now. The Pope opens 5 doors. I lie. The Pope opens 4 doors, but this particular year, 2025, is the year of hope. That's the message to the Catholic community, a message of hope, but it's about atonement. And specifically because of this year, 2025, now, as I said, we're the 17th, 18th, 19th. The lead up to Christmas just goes so fast. You forget what day it is. The 19th of December. So next year, starting from Christmas Eve, one door is opened. I think they open another one on Boxing Day. I've got notes about it. Give me a second. Yeah, on Boxing Day, the 26th of December. Rebibben prison in Rome, the feast of Saint Stephen, which is on the 26th of December. Now that saint is the patron saint of bricklayers and stonemasons. Where you've built this karmic cycle, that you found your brick, you were kind of laid in stone into this karmic cycle. This particular year, or this particular Jubilee, which is the Jubilee of Atonement, which is clemency, which is mercy. For the first time, they're opening a 5th door, and the other 3 will be opened the 29th of December, the 1st of January, and then the 5th of January, because on the 6th of January is this day of the Epiphany, this symbolic door in a Roman prison. For the first time, there's a 5th door. Rebibben prison in Rome. There might be, you might get some sort of enlightenment on the 26th, which is Boxing Day. Have I got it? No, I don't have a P. Trying to spell epiphany. But it's ironic that, 2025, the year of atonement, and we've got this prison door open and these themes coming through about something that you've been stuck in. The Bali 9, atonement, karmic cycle coming to a close. Okay, finally, I'm going to get you 3 final cards. See if there's anything else that your guides want to tell you. Ace of Wands on the bottom, and what wants to come out there? The 10 of Pentacles. A new beginning for you. And potentially a blessing that comes from, I really want to say, using the battles, the struggles that you've been in during this karmic cycle to help benefit other people, to help take the rose-colored glasses off other people. That's actually there. Rose. Okay, what would your guides like to tell you? 9 of Swords, which is Mars and Gemini. Let's see what else wants to come out. The Queen of Wands and the 10 of Swords. So we've got a progression here. Queen of Wands is a card of creativity. It's the moon in Leo. The moon in Leo. Sometimes it's seen as Jupiter in Leo as well. 9's a completion, but 10's a karmic completion. What does that want to open up? The Empress, something that you want to nurture. Something that, a new beginning that you can nurture based on what you've learned. And look at that, Judgment on the bottom. The Judgment card is the card of Pluto. Pluto and Aquarius. That's really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. King of Cups and the King of Swords underneath. I just heard all eyes on me. What are you going to do with the lessons that you've learned? And you don't have to do anything with them. But you've got a big opportunity here to help somebody. You've got wisdom to help somebody potentially not fall into whatever it is you fell into. So that's what I've got for you. I will list all of those songs in the description for you. I am doing a whole heap of other readings that kind of tie in with this stuff, so keep an eye out for them. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If this reading resonated with you, give it a like. If you are called to any of my tarot or oracle decks, the links to those can be found in the description box. And I will see you again in another reading.